Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Connersville Board of Aviation Commissioners February meeting to order. And the first order of business is to approve the minutes of previous meeting.
Second.
We have motion, we have second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Approval of the claims?
Yes. Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second, and we have a sick person.
No, I knew it was
Just-
Dad.
No, it was him.
Did you say you weren't gonna make it?
No, it's dead.
I had 3 people tell me I was wrong.
Just worse at it. Thanks so much.
Rosemary's never wrong.
I am wrong all the time.
Motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a motion, and we have a second. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And so moved. All?
Yep. The only action item we've got is this letter of intent to use your 2025 non-primary entitlement funds, which is that $150,000 that you get a year towards the transient hangar. So that's coupled with your DIL money will give you a nice ability to make a payment to the bank when we get to that point. So that's a requirement to submit prior to April 1st on whether you intend to use it, even though they probably won't write the grant until August or September.
Okay, and didn't we already approve this?
Well, you've approved a grant application that has that in there. You've approved all kinds of things that has in there. This is just that specific letter that's attached that says. And it seems kind of silly, but the Federal Register that they publish requires you to submit a specific letter saying that.
Okay, do we need a motion authorizing me to sign this?
It wouldn't hurt.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't bring copies. I included in the PDF report that you got a copy of the structural drawings for the building. So those went down to the state, so they should have their state design release here by the end of the month. They're planning on starting as soon as the weather breaks. We requested a schedule. They didn't provide it yet just because they haven't gotten a firm delivery date on the steel yet. So as soon as we get that back, we'll get you the schedule for completion. And then the only other thing, NDOT did give me a call, just saying that they may have a little issue on the airfield inspection.
Yeah.
Okay,
Some lights.
and you guys are on it?
Yeah.
All right, if you need any help, let me know.
Okay.
I can work on it.
Got lights, Jeff?
Yes. Yeah.
Didn't we do that last year or?
I mean, every year, it's usually a light or two out or something, but sometimes we're ahead of the game and catch them. I think that was our only issue. Usually there's 2 or 3 different
Yeah.
items.
Yeah, they just said there were too many lights out. Than allowed.
I think our Ludwig's go. We're having some problems with some of those older ones finding some of the parts on those now.
Yeah, he said they were run by lights, they weren't tagged.
Yeah.
Those are,
Seem to be the issue.
those are the older fixtures.
Following this contract, is there any chargeback, missing completion date or on the planner?
Yes, as far as a substantial completion date, yeah, and liquidated damages, yeah, there are. But because of the bidding conditions and the uncertainty of when the pre-engineered buildings can be delivered, we actually added language in there saying that we wouldn't count if they provide a letter from the steel building manufacturer saying the building was ordered and here's your delivery date, we're not counting those days against their contract time. Because we didn't want people to build in extra money into the bid. Wait, because they're waiting on a building, it's beyond their control.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's the only reason I can't give you an end date right now, because well, I think regular metal buildings, like I call this a regular metal building, pretty standard metal building. T hangers right now are, whew, they're really long, like 18 weeks. I expect this to be 8 to 12 weeks is what I expect. There's not a ton of regular steel buildings being ordered right now.
I just, just make sure if they don't show up for whatever reason, that it's not gonna delay us, that they don't have some penalty for that.
They do, there's liquidated damages built in there. I think it's $500 a day. We gave them 120 days from the date that the steel was delivered. And we also, pretty generous, was allow them to work in advance of the steel delivery date for foundations, so they don't count towards the 120 days. That was all just because we were trying to keep the price down as low as we could get it, and being as flexible as we could be.
That it, Paul?
Yeah, yeah, if you don't get your lights fixed within the 30-day notice, make sure you ask for an extension and they'll grant it for you.
All right, let's move on to old business. Anyone?
Do we want to discuss the hangar door and the old hangar?
Yeah.
This time?
Yeah.
Okay. Just got a quote. And apologize, I don't have it here to have it printed off, but I'll send it to the group email. It looks like the power lift group came out and said, hey, you guys would be better off getting an 80-foot door instead of 70, because you'd have to do cement and everything else, which I think we kind of agreed to that. So, but they call this a 78 by 16 door. The price is without tax, where we don't have to pay tax, $75,049 for the door. And they've got building prep, equipment rental at 25,000. So that puts us at 100. And here's what our responsibilities are real quick. Building structurally capable to handle opposing door loads, rough opening prep as specified, final measuring, final 220 volt electrical pump motor connections. It's got in parentheses 10 gauge wire and 30 amp breaker. Equipment telehandler to load and install the door, 5 gallons of hydraulic oil. And door cladding, trim materials and installation. So I assume we'd be on the hook for trimming out the edges, I guess. But that is the metal and stuff's included with that. So what you guys want to do with that?
And that's just the structure to hold the door.
That is the whole door and everything.
Oh, everything,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. 78 by 16 delivered and installed.
What was that amount again?
75049. Yeah.
So it was-
75049 and 25,000 for everything else.
So that $75,049 staying the same from our original quote from February.
Is that what it is? Okay, 78. We got 78 foot 4 inch by 16 foot. Okay.
Yeah, that was the original quote in
So
February of
you're-
last year.
Here's 103,000. You still got some engineering and electrical to do.
Yeah, I mean, 100 wouldn't get it. I mean, you'd have to do some other stuff.
No, I don't, because you're going to.
Yeah.
You got the structural engineer. It sounds like.
No, I don't know. I assume that they came out and did that. to figure
I thought you
that
read
out.
we had to have it engineered to make sure our building could handle the load.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no.
Here, this was what he read off.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'll shoot.
So building structurally capable of handling opposing door loads. I take that as the structural engineer's got to prove that, make sure it fit, or make sure to work. Yeah, you're the engineer, Paul.
What's
Am I
that?
reading this correctly?
Customer responsibilities. Building structural capable. I don't know what closing door is.
It's like, man, they want to, some certified saying that building can handle the load of the door.
Hmm. Yeah. Two men with fasteners and installation.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
So they can start whenever 3 to 4 weeks on getting a door in.
Yeah, I don't know if they're just planning on. It says metal framework. I don't know. It's a little vague there. Says you're responsible to connect the electrical too. Door cladding and trim metal materials and installation. This is wrong. I'll tell you what. I'll call them.
That would be great. And then, do we have plenty of power, I'm assuming?
Do we have what?
Plenty of extra power there?
There's I don't know how many amp boxes in there, but.
Is there 220 there or the pump's 220?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 220. Okay.
Yeah.
How many amps does it say?
Well,
40,
final 220 electrical pump motor, 10 gauge wire, 30 amp breaker.
30?
Well, 30 amp required 8 gauge, but maybe I'm wrong.
It's 38.
Oh, is it? Okay. You're the electrical guru. I should ask you.
I just know 10 gauge 30.
I knew you knew that answer. We don't. Telehandler, we'd have to rent one. We don't have one over there, do we?
No, but on one part of it says telehandler rental included in that 25,000.
Oh, it does say, okay.
So yeah, I know it's kind of back and forth there a little bit. I guess if we nailed it, we said, hey, come sign it if you'll come tell us what.
Yeah, I need to know how many we can
Whatever.
rent one for.
110, 120,000 probably. That's just all the way.
Yeah.
If we weren't building the new one, I'd be begging you guys to try to do it because we can make a usable hanger out of that for sure, but if we went,
And we need to do it anyway, I think.
it'll make it, I think it'd be a great, deal for it or whatever. Make it where we can rent the thing, if nothing else, to somebody.
Well, when we need to confirm that we're gonna pay for this out of the building improvement fund. When we do make this.
Yeah.
I thought that's what we had discussed previously.
Right, but we just need to,
The phone,
again,
formalize it.
What's our
He-
balance?
He texted me, can I call you back? I just. told him,
I don't have a
board meeting.
copy.
He Calls back quick.
I think that-
Might approve this and if you're doesn't.
I know within,
I don't know.
I guess if I read this, I'm like you, I got a lot of questions. It's very vague.
the.
Most contractors
fund that
rent
we
their own
have here,
equipment.
And we've been doing some stuff out of it, so I haven't really moved any of the stuff into.
That's fine. Yeah.
And did you print off that by chance, the fund balances?
I have one from. I won't say yes, but I like to insulate it too.
Thought we looked at that and couldn't find anybody.
No, it's from like October.
That's not.
We did, but I think it
late
was
September.
$25,000 spray foam from Chad Friend when.
I think that's
Oh, shoot.
35, but.
Oh, was
might
it?
have been
Oh, okay.
We were looking for, I think Nathan was supposed to look for other
Other
vendors.
vendors, yeah.
So on the hanger, obviously the total, I don't have the papers in front of me, but I think it was 1.3, but we got 900 and some thousand financing. So we gotta come up with the other 400,000.
And I think you've got that laid out, I'm sure.
Yeah, we,
Over,
on that, we have a grant for 400 and some thousand.
Okay.
now.
So we don't have to use any of our current capital in order to come up with the difference. We use grant money for that and then
Our local
funding.
match is like 56,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I put that flow in almost every set of minutes. So-
You have.
And just to keep everybody fresh on,
Yeah.
so NEP is gonna be 814,000 bill, 470,000 NDOT, 56,247, and our local match will be 56,247.
And we got grants last year that kind of totaled that first initial 400, which is the delta on what we asked for the bank
Right.
to take us.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're in good financial standing, we can do that. You don't see any other upcoming expenses. I know we got a tractor a couple years ago. We got nothing.
I mean, upgrade our pickup truck plow.
Do we just use that truck to push snow? Pretty much.
Yeah, well, it's the all around vehicle around there too.
Okay.
Yeah. City does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my thoughts are, I mean, door's not gonna get any cheaper. I think we got lucky that it stayed the same price. As what it did at the first quote. And then, it's not really marketable from a renting standpoint now outside of what somebody like Hydro would use it for. But if we're looking to put, at least have another marketing tool to get in order to grab, a nicer plane or something in, I mean, I think there's, potential there. I'm in favor of,
Hey, Raleigh.
where you-
I'm at a Connersville board meeting and they had some questions regarding the quote that we had submitted on that older hangar that retrofits that door. So I'm gonna put you on speakerphone and just let you talk directly to the board. I'm sure you don't have that quote in front of you. Are you? Okay. Let me put you on speaker and Raleigh, the areas that they have questions on are on the customer responsibility part. So the first question was it says, it's got a statement in here, building structurally capable to handle imposing door loads. So I guess the question there is, are you gonna make the framing and everything yourself? And is this kind of a cover yourself, or what's the expectation there from their end?
Well, that building, I know that once it had needs some reinforcing down on the front of it. Steve measured one door, one side of it, and I don't know. He's supposed to come back up there and remeasure that again, but it's showing that one side is 4 inches lower than the other.
Hmm.
And I don't know if was built that way or if the building's just settled over the years or what.
Okay,
So
you're saying there is some variable there that you want them to figure that out, or is there?
yeah,
Is there?
like if they don't want to do it, if we're going to do it, then I need to let them know that it's going to be. I mean, I'm going to have to do time and material or put enough money in there to make sure we don't lose money
Right.
on it.
So you had $25,000 for time and material, I believe, for building prep / equipment rental.
Okay.
So you,
Okay. Steve did get that quote to you.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the door itself was 75,049. You throw in that 25, we're looking at 100,000 basically
Right.
dollars. You think that 25 would cover the installation of the door?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it will. I don't think he'll, come out making more money on it with it that way, but it's gonna take some pretty good structural work there to hold the front of that building there. And I think Steve's planning on, isn't that putting you on an 80-foot door?
Yes, 78 foot 4 inches is what it says by
Yeah.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, he'll be, I think we're gonna be fine on it. I think that's a good fair price for that door. And I know that on getting the building prepped, he's looking at he's hoping that he can get that done in 4 to 5 days with about 4 or 5 guys. So that's what, and the equipment, they've got to get all that up there yet. That should take care of it. But I think if you appropriate that amount, we can get that door put in there for you, hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks anyway.
Okay, so the 25 covers that.
Installation.
Right, okay.
Anything extra. Would we have any costs on top of that then? On top of that?
Shouldn't have anything. The only other thing I can think of is I don't remember what electric you have. We'd probably have to have an electrician, make sure there was 220 available to either the left or the right-hand side of the door, whichever, whatever side you want the controls on.
Okay. Okay.
What is, there was another customer responsibility here that they asked about door cladding and trim materials and installation. Does it not come with skin and so forth?
I think that Steve's got that covered in that 25,000 to
Okay.
put the sheeting on the outside of the door. That building, is it insulated?
No.
Okay, I think, because I'm pretty sure, Paul, that's what he told me, that they were gonna put the lining on the outside, and he had it approved to do it in like a brilliant white or white.
Yeah, that's what the wet text message said, is it?
Okay.
Real white
Has
outside.
that building got an access door in the left and the right-hand side?
That's in the back of it.
It's in-
Yeah, the rear of the building. There's if you're looking at the building, it'd be in the left side rear.
Okay, so what's going with that
Have
full
you spoken to
78
him
foot
or not?
wide? Is that door gonna be sufficient, or because there's no bulk door in the front or anything? I'm just throwing that out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking like egress for
Yeah.
fire codes.
Yeah.
Right.
So we may have to add it.
What, man door?
Yeah.
You could put it in a sidewall too, which might be easier than
Yeah.
just putting the door.
Yeah, I don't think I would mess with the door. Yeah, I definitely would put it on the side there.
Yeah.
That'd be my,
Okay.
You want to add in a side door for that?
They said not in the door. They're gonna put it on the side of the building if they
Yeah.
need it, but,
I think
Okay,
that, I think that's what he's asking.
that then.
okay.
The board will.
Yeah, do you want that to be part of the door project? Is that something you handle on your own or just think?
I don't know. I mean, if we're gonna do this and allocate funds rather than coming back to do it again, why don't we just include it in?
Tell
You could, I guess you could ask your fire marshal to go out, see if you actually need it, because that's a fire code deal. In a storage facility, generally it's 75 foot to an exit when you're inside the building. I don't know how far the other exits are in that floor plan, not, looking at it. So that might, your fire marshal might be able to, or fire chief, go out and look at that and say, yeah,
Building 64 deep, 80 wide by 64.
so you're
Probably
probably
one walk through, and then we've got that overhead door in the back, there in the middle, overhead door, but I mean, they may not like that for a fire escape, but
the overhead probably doesn't work, but as long as it's not more of a 75 foot straight line to the emergency exit, if there's a fire, that's what the code people are looking for in that, for that occupancy. Every occupancy is different, but that one for a storage building, so.
I think a door on this side would be a good idea, just, the way it is now, someone would have to access that through the gate or on the other side of the fence.
That's right.
And that might be fine, I don't know, we got parking over there. One door might be fine, maybe we can add it later on, but he can throw in a quote of that, we can.
I mean, again, I think we should just throw it, have quoted now.
Okay.
As part of the,
In the exterior wall, not in the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exterior wall.
not in the door.
Yeah.
All right, did you follow that, Raleigh?
I could just hear part of it.
Okay, they said go ahead and work them up a quote to put the side door in. Not in the door, but in the side wall of the hangar, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
More than likely they'll have to weld up a steel frame, put a door, ask them if they want, a window in it of any kind, or can it be a solid door?
solid. We've got some
Solid,
windows
okay.
already in there, yeah. Just a solid,
And-
it's uninsulated metal, so you'd have to, like you said, probably build up a frame.
Okay.
A steel
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah, my guess on that, I'm gonna, off the top of my head, that's probably $1,000. I can have Steve get a figure to put together for you on it, but I don't think it would run over that.
The terms on that were 50% deposit with order balance due at the time of delivery / installation. If the balance is not paid within 90 days, they'll take legal action. So 50% down, 50 when we.
It's
Okay.
done.
Yeah.
When's the proposed start date? We said yes today.
If we said yes today, how long would we be looking at for that?
I think Steve was telling me that he thought he could get that within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So
it says on here they could start whenever and 3 to 4 weeks on the getting the door in.
3 to 4. Okay.
Yeah. I think it start anytime.
Yeah, just to, give us a little room on it there, but we should be able to get that done within. That's how we put it, okay? Will that work for you guys?
I think the one you're looking at is.
Oh, well, that could be.
That's
I
the,
would say, if anything, we initial that those are come off as part of the contract, because as you read it, we're still responsible for it.
yeah, Raleigh, what the mayor's looking at here, is there's a previous one that they have in hard copy. And,
We just got the other one
and
today.
Jeff just got the other one in electronic form today.
Email it to me, I'll print it off.
Yeah.
And so we're just,
Yeah, which,
Mayor@carswell.gov.
the original one doesn't have that 25 grand in there for the framing and some of that time and material stuff in it, so.
Right.
Which has, on the original, all that's excluded, so they just wanna make sure that.
They're getting the whole deal done.
Yeah,
Done touched, yeah, that will be with that latest quote. So, yep, I don't, if they've got any other questions, Paul, just feel free to give them my phone number and stuff. I'll answer, anything that I possibly can from out here, but Steve will be on that with his crew.
okay, yeah, no. Appreciate you taking the call. If they had questions and I figured, well, I've got you right here in my address book, I'll just give you a ring.
That's the best way to do it. It works out. I hope, have we answered everything, any questions anyone has, or?
will you guys throw together another quote then with the additional $1,000 and shoot it over to us, I guess?
We'll just, I'll put the whole thing together and, I'll send you a quote. I'll call them as soon as we get off the phone here.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Anything else? All right. Well, thanks, Raleigh. Enjoy California.
It's, gosh, I'm telling you, I sounds like I got out of Indiana just in time.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
All right, so I'll call Lindsay, tell her to add in basically that $1,000 for the side door, put it all on one new quote, and then I'm sure she's got your emails and things like that to email it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Same
right.
language on there.
The mayor's coming back in here. Let's see if you've got any more questions, Raleigh, before you.
Okay, sure.
That's the initial quote, just didn't have installation, is that right? So after this, after our guy just, the man came out and said 25 will cover everything. Is that correct assumption? That one wasn't an installed price. That was just the price of the door, wasn't the old one?
Right, it
Okay,
was.
yeah, then we've added 25,000 for installation, I think.
Well, and this, and also, I can send them a tax exempt form as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, we just want, I guess the question is, the $25,000 covers the customer responsibilities on
Yes,
all the additional, on the installation.
That's not a question I have.
Yeah, that's the question they have, Raleigh, is that 25 grand, because that, basically what they want to know is if they write a check to relatively close to that amount, is this gonna be a done project?
yeah, that's, yes, that's the total installation, we'll make sure that the building is secured and solid enough to hold everything, so they won't have to worry about it. And they'll have a 7-year warranty on the structure and 3 years on all the hydraulics.
Who does the electric at the airport?
Ludwig,
Ludwig's on?
yeah, yes, they do. Yeah.
well, didn't we have someone else do it? Oh, no, that was the cameras. That was, yeah.
So that's the only outside cost to be running the power to it.
Yeah, the box
Yeah,
is
it'd be
relatively,
a
it's
local
relatively close to
electrician is supposed to, will assist him in it, but we really, to make it legal, he's supposed to be a licensed electrician in the county. It's only 3 wires. I mean, you might be talking $150, $200 max.
Just from the service call.
There's no license in Indiana for electricians,
You know, I didn't know that until the other day.
plumbers.
Yeah, there is, you do have to have a license in Indiana unless you do it yourself. If you're doing it on your own residence, you don't.
License doesn't exist.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for Raleigh?
I think that's got everything, so,
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
all right, I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, bye.
Want to move on to new business? And the only thing I've got jumping out is the hydro lease amendment.
Did everybody get a chance to read it? I've attached it.
Yeah. Any issues with it?
No, I've reviewed it, right, Rosemary? And
Yes. Yeah.
there's been a few iterations of the Fifth Amendment, but I think we've got it.
How long is that one gonna be good for now? The new contract?
Is it 3?
Yes. Well, December 31st, 2027 is when it terminates. So essentially, yeah, 3 years.
Sorry.
So we need a motion.
Yep.
I make a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So moved.
We need to go back to the door. Are we gonna go ahead and approve that today, or
I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any
we gonna
reason
make a
not
motion
to.
to do
Yeah, make a
that?
motion to approve the door for,
We'll have to write the check, right, for half of it.
Right, we'll approve it and issue a 50% down payment.
pending the new quote they send us. Yeah.
I'll second it.
The motion, we have second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved. Okay. That pretty much wraps it. And I'm sorry, sir. I don't remember.
Mike Sparks.
Mike, how are you? Mike, asked to come to our meeting and he has something he'd like to share with us. If you would, Mike, please.
Won't take much of your time. Where would you like? Anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey,
Anywhere, just,
anywhere's good for you, Mike.
Uh, I'm sure everybody in this room is well acquainted with Gene Worley. And, we got acquainted with him both through the city prep for the city bicentennial, which ran from planning as early as 2010, clear through the post-op activities in 2014. Gene was one of our key members, as another key member right here with Ed, and I'm sure Ed would attest. Gene was at almost all of our meetings. And anytime he could help us in any way, he was right there. But the thing I remember more than that is that big smile, and he'd throw his head back and, arm would go up to wave, and those are images I hope that never leave. Well, then fast forward a few years to the preparation for the county bicentennial. That started in 2018, then spilled over into the actual celebration in 2019. And the committee for that one decided that we wanted to go back and revive a practice that we found out through reading history. Back in the early days of the pavilion up there at the park, the original one of which was built in 1903. That was the first improvement in Roberts Park after Colonel Roberts gave it to the city in 1902. Anyway, in the early days, somebody, we don't know who, but started a competition amongst the townships within Fayette County. And back in the day, they would fill the pavilion with displays. I mean, individual township displays, each one would be bigger than that room there. They did fancy borders, and each township was trying to outdo the other. And it's pretty amazing to see the pictures and read some of the articles about the things that were done back then. Back then everybody canned, so there was a lot of canning goods, but just everything. And you got to remember the era. This was earlier 1900s. Well, somewhere, we don't notice where, that finally faded away through the years. The committee, bicentennial committee for the county, wanted to revive that. So we had several meetings and came up with a plan where each township would do their own display. We wanted to make it so it was all pretty much standardized. So we gave them a bunch of these size posters. They could have as many as they wanted. Each township was to create their own display. And then the city was good enough to let us use the Miller Building. And if you were there, the township displays took in all of both long sides of the gym and all the way across back. It was quite a sight. We brought Randy Ollis down from Indianapolis because that wasn't the only reason we brought him down, but we wanted somebody independent because we knew we'd all get killed if somebody. We were going to have a judging contest of who had the best township display. And we knew if it was any of us doing the judging, there'd probably be problems. So we actually asked Randy to be the one to do the judging. And he took that very seriously. As long as we kept him supplied with donuts and coffee, he spent about an hour and a half before we opened that up. He went around and read and studied virtually everything in that room. It was kind of amazing. Gene came to mind early in that whole process because we knew that he would want to be a part of this. And since the airport was in Harrison Township, we asked him if he would do something or would like to do something just to highlight the airport. We had others doing other things relative to manufacturing and farming, and Harrison takes in quite a bit of territory. So Gene made this up, and it's everything from an early history of the airport. He highlighted these were some of the planes that have come in over the years. More history over here. It was a simple thing, but it's quite effective. And coming from Gene, he kind of put his heart into it like you would expect he would. After the bicentennial, anything that was left, we had to get out of there because, you know, the miller's always used for something at all the time, so anything that didn't leave immediately, Jenny and I and a few others gathered up, and we've had this in storage out home ever since. I sent Gene an email a few months after the bicentennial was over, told him I had this, asked him if he would like to have it, maybe for a display up at the airport. He sent back an email pretty quickly and said, yeah, he was wondering where that might have gone, and yes, he thought that might be something they could put into, help me out, Ed, it's
Pilot's lounge.
the pilot's lounge. Okay. He also mentioned in that email, he was going to the doctor that afternoon.
Mhm.
And without going back and researching, I don't remember whether that was the beginning of his bigger health issues or not, but anyway, long story short, the transfer never happened. Well, I certainly wasn't gonna discard it, so sent a thing to Ed the other day and, cause I felt like at least the offer needed to be made. If the airport's interested, we'd like for you to have it. And I'm pretty sure Gene would like that. So here it is. You can do what you want with it. But, we're always gonna have some pretty fond memories of Gene.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. We'll put it up there.
One thing, Mike, you didn't say which township Randy picked as the winner.
Well, I would tell you I forgot just because I don't want to have to acknowledge it, but it wasn't Harrison. That happens to be my township. As well.
But it was Orange, which happens to be my town.
Oh.
Somebody knew before he asked the question.
I haven't forgotten. I just didn't want to say it. Anyway, we had a lot of fun with Gene and all the others that worked on both of those bicentennials and for me, this is kind of special.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you for bringing it.
Thank you.
All right.
I will take it.
How did you know? Should you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it.
Should you do something with it? I mean, to protect it?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably ought to, I guess. Yeah.
How, it's probably pretty expensive to get framed.
I don't know. We can at least get a clear
Something.
something over the top of it, but you know, like a
Yeah,
plexiglass or some kind.
you know, put it in the pilot's lounge.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of time in that.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
did.
I'll put it in my thing. I was gonna show this time, Rosemary. All right. This will be a half number with the extra $1,000. Write that down about.
Any other questions, comments from those in attendance? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second. 49.
We have a motion to adjourn, second, and we'll consider the meeting adjourned.
Remember the-
Okay, thank you.